blue. What
Let's
about
see.
like purplish?
Where are we going live on?
And YouTube.
Live on YouTube. Here we go. It's already up.
So yeah, Greg. What's up, man?
Oh, sorry.
How's it going?
Doing good? You?
Good. Just another day at the office, you know.
What kind of day at the office? I've never been into an office, so I wouldn't know a day in the office.
Well, it's monotonous. Sometimes it gets vanilla. But when you get to come out and have conversations like these, kind of changes your perspective on the day.
Yeah.
And actually, the Snapchat, the video that you sent of you running at Peters Canyon,
Yeah.
dude, I was like, man, it's such a beautiful day outside. I need to go take a walk. So, it was like 2 p.m. Just decided to take a walk, man. It was pretty good.
I kind of keep scooting forward.
I really liked it.
You just walked out by the office?
Yeah, it was just, I did like a 10-minute loop.
Huh.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, it was a huge difference because I went to the same place yesterday hiking, and there was barely any parking, and there were people everywhere, and it's not usually like that.
Yeah.
And so I thought that there were more people doing it because it's summer, and then come today, a hot day, there was no one there. It was kind of funny to me.
But it wasn't that hot, was it? It was
Today. Well, I
It's
don't know if
pretty
it was
nice.
necessarily that hot, but the sun was out. It's. I thought my watch told me what the degrees was. It doesn't. It's definitely hot though.
Well, if you want to introduce the the audience that's listening to us and maybe perhaps viewing us on YouTube, the new logo that we just made up. I'm gonna go grab my notes really quick.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know we were gonna start.
What do you mean?
Like,
I said we are gonna go. Well, we just got this logo. We were trying to create a bunch of different ones, and some of them just seemed kind of ridiculous. But I mean, it's kind of obvious what it. Well, maybe not because it's not zoomed in, but it's a light bulb with a brain as the top half of the light bulb, and I think it piqued our interest mainly because how we talk about the thought process. So, light bulb to enhance your brain. I don't know. Issues with what? See, it already went away.
Here it is.
So we'll leave it. You got a new notepad.
Yeah, I just have a.
It's actually very interesting because for the classes I'm taking, I'm getting towards the end, and so is my notebook. And I'm like, I gotta get a new notebook to finish off the rest of this course. I have like 10 pages left in the notebook that I have right now, and it's just funny that you were with the new notepad.
It's not necessarily that I ran out of pages. It's that I got this one in the mail, so
you just had it in front of you.
Yeah, but I kind of like it because it's not. It can go anywhere, and then it's got plenty of room just for the notes that we use here at the podcast.
Look at the back part, the cardboard part.
Yeah.
Don't look back at the front. What's the company on there? Do you know the name of it?
No.
No? Oh, okay.
No, I don't
because
know.
that's the whole point of them giving
no
it to you, so
company.
you look at the company's name.
Oh, you mean like
it's not
the
a
marketing
company
aspect?
name?
There's no There's no company name.
This came in the mail?
Yeah, so it came in the mail. It came in the mail with free birthday cards. So if you're listening to me and you get a birthday card from me, you know that it's
it was free.
It was free. Yeah, so so lately I've been trying to, I guess, switch my perspective and more my habits more than anything else when it comes to spending money and doing things that are free or just really, I guess, putting my money where it should go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm cutting back a lot on like expenses and costs that are irrelevant to what I'm trying to do. So this kind of comes into that because I get stuff like this at the office, and so now I don't need to go buy a new notepad. Like I can just use this one.
Yeah. That's one of the things you're talking about cutting back is I was watching this video and it was about things that people have done to make themselves more successful, because everyone looks at things differently. Not everyone needs to wake up in the morning and meditate, or not everyone wants to wake up in the morning and take a cold shower. That doesn't do them any good. It just creates more stress for them, those kind of things. So I'd like to listen to the different things that people do. And this guy was like, the first thing that I did to be more successful was be successful with my money and what I did with it when it wasn't doing anything. And he was talking about doing like online baking. They have really good um like percentages that you would get for like in savings accounts. So you get like 2% back, where majority of banks is like 0.1%. And then he was talking about credit cards, and I kind of stopped using my credit card because of the new systems where you plug in the chip and sometimes it doesn't work, so they have to run it three or four times and then just slide it. I just hate that whole process, so I just started using my debit card. And I was thinking about it, it's like you get something back every time you spend money that you're gonna spend anyways. Why not do it?
Oh, you mean like buying like let's say gasoline or groceries on your credit card instead of your debit card?
See, that's one thing too. Gas you can't buy with a credit card, can you?
Yeah.
Or is it just certain gas stations don't take credit?
Yeah, so I know for a fact that like Arco, for
Uh-huh.
a long time, it was cash only, or they even had like an ATM on site kind of system where you put
Oh,
in your card and then it would give you like credits, like cash. It was kind of like
you
cash.
would you would take money from your bank account, but they would charge you to take the money.
I don't think, no, not at that place. It was like a built-in ATM. Like for them in their books, everything's cash. Like that, it's just like an extra step
Huh.
for us. Um, Gosh, I went.
They don't do it anymore though. Huh?
Well, yeah, I think I don't know. I don't know now. It's been a long time that I've used Arco, but I have seen another. I went to another restaurant. I want to say like 5 6 months ago, and it was one in Tustin, and they were using like they had a drive-through and everything, but now they were still not using like credit card machines. They were just using this system that's similar to what I just said.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they charge they basically they act like an ATM where you take out cash. They sometimes charge you for that transaction depending on if it's like a gasoline station or restaurant or something.
Uh-huh.
But this particular restaurant, they basically withdrew cash from your account to pay themselves, and then you would have to pay extra because you were trying to use credit card.
So what that almost kind of sounds like is they have their own machine that doesn't necessarily act as like a credit card machine.
Right.
So they're not getting charged from the credit card companies. What it is just it's a transfer to transfer. So
Transfer.
it's like me transferring you money on Venmo.
Yeah.
But now those people aren't getting charged from the credit card companies, but they're doing exactly what they would have done if they had the credit card company by charging you to take money
It's
out.
the
So
exact
they're
same
taking
thing.
the money system that the credit card companies were using to get money,
Yeah.
and now they're profiting from both things.
Yeah, and I don't know.
That's
For me,
cheesy,
for
dude.
me, I was like, man, if you're a restaurant, you want this to be easy. Just come in, get your food, and go,
Yeah.
right? Because um, you can bring in more people that way faster. You can get more revenue. These guys, man, it took about like 5 minutes for them to pay. Gave me the pin pad. I have to put in the pin. I got to do all these extra steps that I just took away from the experience, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't understand how they're not already with the times. But it's a good place. It's good hamburgers, man. Hamburgers, but their potato fries there, man. Oh, so good.
There's only one hamburger place.
What's that?
In and Out.
Yeah, I mean, some people don't even know what In and Out is.
No, people know what it is. They just have never been there. Just like there's a place called Zaxby's. Have you ever heard of that? Apparently, it's like the Chick-fil-A of the East Coast.
Chick Fil A.
Yeah, it's like
Are
the
they also
top dog.
Christian?
I don't know what they are.
Do they open Sundays? That's the important
Oh, probably.
question.
I don't. There's only two companies that don't open on Sundays that I've
Who's
ever
that?
seen. Is Hobby
Besides,
Lobby and Chick-fil-A.
oh, well,
Like
I mean,
even Christian bookstores in the past, I swear, were open on Sundays.
well, maybe it's their time to go, or time to open rather. Just because everyone's getting out of church, they're motivated to go buy some Christian novels,
I'm trying to
get
think
the
about
Bible.
because I remember like Christian rock was like a thing when we were younger for a while. Like a lot of the Christian bands were becoming just like mainstream stuff. Like Thrice, I think started as a Christian band.
Really?
I think it's Thrice. POD was Christian.
Sounds
Uh,
like a
and
category in
and
porn.
it was super weird. It was Prisoner of Death is what it standed for. And then I don't know what it was, but the Christian rap scene came out too. And yeah, dude. It was like for a while we were into it. I can't remember any of the rappers, but yeah, no, I think even those ones are still open on Sundays because I swear we would go after church sometimes and get music.
See? Yeah, that's why they were open. 'Cause you guys were motivated. You're like, just I got closer to God today. I'm just gonna go get some more books.
Well, because if you think about it though, too, Christians don't believe the same. Well, I mean, there are many different types and what you would consider Christian, but they don't necessarily think that they can't work on Sunday. Like
That's not
as long
actually.
as they go to church on Sunday, like I don't think they have an issue working like Sunday night or something.
But you mean you're talking about like average Christians? Like what degree of Christianity do you
Yeah,
think you
because
would have to be at in order for you to be thinking like, okay, Sunday is the day of the Lord, Sunday is a resting day. Like we don't. It's all about family.
wasn't that the same way? Like with you grew up in a Catholic family,
Yeah.
so you had gone to church. Is is it the same with Catholics that they won't work on Sunday? There are
No. Well,
probably plenty of people
the
working
problem.
Sunday, right?
Yeah, because we're all like Hispanic, man. We have to work Sundays, no days off. But like for
So
for instance, like my mom growing up, she had a Monday through Friday all her life. She's never worked Saturday or Sunday. Well, maybe she's probably worked Saturdays sometimes, like when either the people had to reschedule her or she, whatever she had to do. She probably has worked some Saturdays.
mhm.
But when it comes to Sundays, like that's her day to, I don't know, you gotta go to the market, you gotta do your laundry, you gotta kind of set she sets like her house in order Sundays. Um,
But see, that's working though.
I wouldn't. I guess it is working, but I wouldn't classify it as
It's the
a
same thing
job. Yeah.
because there are some religions who won't even let you go that far. Like if you come home, like it's resting, like there's no going outside and fixing your car on Sunday, or there's no I don't know, like you'd have to do some sort of cleaning. It's not like you're gonna go through the whole day. Like say you have a kid who had an accident on the floor, like that's still working to clean that up. Like you're not gonna leave it till tomorrow.
I
I'm
mean,
interested
I
actually
guess
to look into
that's
this.
yeah, but like that's you're talking about like an extreme of things.
Well,
I
no,
don't
there.
necessarily think that.
I guess
I
it's like
mean,
Amish people would do that.
I think the thing is on Sundays it's family time, and that's basically what it is. Like you gotta clean someday. Like what are you gonna clean Mondays when it's usually like the busiest day of the week
Well, I
for
mean,
people?
sure, but have you ever seen a mother in a house that doesn't clean every day?
Yeah.
Like on their way out, they find something and they clean it before walking out. Like it's
So
kind of like what happens.
actually, that just depends on the person because from what I've seen, me working in the line of work that I do, I see people. Gosh, I would put it as a spectrum of people. Like you got your OCD type people that are just clean. They can't see anything. They gotta clean it up right away. I've seen that type of person, and then I've seen people that they have clutter up to the ceiling of their house.
Yeah. Well, it's like you see my backyard. Like the house has a lot of decoration, and I don't necessarily think it would be considered dirty. It would be dust because there's a lot of decorations, and you can't dust unless you remove all the decorations. But like, I don't know, the house would probably be considered cluttered and have a bunch of stuff, but still, like, my mom would continue to clean, like, on a
Yeah, well, so
Sunday.
there's two different things. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about clutter, man. Like, um, have you seen like the documentaries of the hoarding people?
Oh yeah.
They just hoard things and they just can't get rid of things. Like I don't know. I was thinking about this the other day, and I was in fact, I think we were talking about this with Robert and Gilbert. Um, we were talking about how just I had brought up a point that, in like my personal opinion, I feel like people's homes reflect who they who the person is.
Okay.
Um, so if they have like if you, they're like cluttered, then like their mind is a bit more clouded and I wouldn't say like I don't know, kind of like stuck. Um, I don't know, like cluttered. I guess would be the same exact word to use in this situation, right?
Yeah.
Um, and whereas, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess there's arguments to that because there's some people who are extremely clean, but then they got some issues, like
Well, yeah,
mental
they don't
issues.
care. They don't care about what they go home to. But when they're out and then they're spotless, clean, they take their showers, yada yada yada. But they just have no interest in picking up the blanket or removing the soda cup that they had brought into their room 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I mean, like, I guess my point was like, there's a spectrum of people that I've personally seen that it goes from like being extremely clean to just having just crap everywhere. It's interesting. It's interesting to see that in people. But I mean, I think now we went on a big tangent. I don't even know where we're going.
It doesn't really matter where we're going.
But,
But you were talking about cleanliness, and this, I don't know, it's super weird. It's something that I've been enjoying lately, and I don't know why, but it's cleaning. It is a cleaning kind of concept. It's not like I want this to be clean or that to be clean, but like there's on my car, there's it's not plastic, but it's like the trimming. Maybe it is
the
plastic.
dashboard.
No, on the outside of the car, like trimming around the doors,
Yeah,
like down to your like front mirror. There's that trim.
the pillars.
Yeah, mine was it was like drying out, so I looked everywhere for what to do, and someone said use Vaseline. So I took it, and because you're supposed to moisturize it, and I was like, all right, let's try
For a
it.
car?
Yeah, and I started rubbing it on, and there was a bunch of dirt, and then I rubbed over that. I did it 2 times, and now it's back to how it was.
Vaseline? Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
I was like, what the
plastics are made
hell?
of oil, so
Yeah.
I guess it would make sense.
It was just drying out. And like
Interesting.
little things like that I'm looking at. Like how you want to fix this table and you're just going to paint over this and it'll look brand new.
Yeah,
Like
that's the plan.
little things like that I've been like interested. Like you may not think anything, there's like a thermostat, an old thermostat on the wall over here. Like people have created these photos that you would just put over that, or like the things that go around the
They
sockets.
paint
They sell those at like Home Depot now, where they have designs on
designs.
them
Yeah.
or specific coloring to change it. Like
Oh yeah, yeah. It's. I mean,
I've
it's all
been
in the
looking at
plans.
little
Yeah.
things like that, and like wanting to like figure something out to do like with just anywhere I go. Kind of weird.
Well, it sounds like something is becking at you.
Maybe it's more like I'm trying to design something because
Well,
like that's kind of something I'm needing to start to learn. So
that's
maybe it's
interesting.
something that I'm passively doing, not thinking about it as like I need to learn this. Like more or less my body knows that I'm trying to push towards something, so it's passively like, "Oh, here you go. Look at this. This is what you're trying to do."
I mean,
Giving me more interest in it.
yeah. I say that you pursue it if it's becking at you and it's something that you can't shake off. you seem to enjoy it, I say you just go with it.
The weirdest thing I've been watching, because I've been wanting to keep my car clean, and I've been able to. Like, I have a ton of toys in the back seat because of my son, but I'll move all those into a seat, vacuum, and wipe all the what is it, upholstery? Upholstery is the seats, right?
Yeah, like
So
the
I'll
cloth.
vacuum the seats and vacuum the floor, and then wipe the dashboard and all that, and then I'll wait like a week, and I'll pull out the mats and wring them out. And if it doesn't look dirty, I won't clean the inside again. But I've actually been so interested in my car being clean that I've been watching these videos um of just car detailing, like what people do. Like they take out seats, they take out like the whole dash just so they can make sure to get all the carpet and all the dirt out. And I was just like,
It's
damn.
a big industry, and um, like give I commend people that do that, man, because it's not easy. It's time consuming, one, and then there's a process that you need to go about. There's a process that you need to. Um, there's a process to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's this guy that I was watching who does that. I don't know if he gets people to pay him or he's doing it just for like his YouTube channel. But like he goes and tries to find the worst cars. Like he bought a car for $600 and he took it home and it was like there was mold in the car, the carpets were stained, there was like a soda that had like not a soda, maybe like a juice that had like molded onto the carpet. Like the cup holders are all sticky with like some shenanigans in there.
Oh,
And he took the car, he pulled out all the seats, pulled out wall panels, make sure the insides were clean so the smells would go away, and scrubbed it all out, put it back together, and it looked like how the Mustang on the inside looked when you first got it. Just spotless. Like you see the stain because you can't get rid of like stain, but
yeah.
like since everything else is clean, you don't even see the stains. And like it sounds almost like I'm like OCD, I need everything clean, but that's not even what it is. It's the interest of seeing like the potential of something that still sucks. And maybe that's why I'm so interested in it. Is the potential of what you can do with it. With
Yeah,
cleaning or
that's awesome, man.
yeah.
That's a really cool thing that you're interested in.
I,
Because I wish more people were like that. I mean, I wish I was more like that.
yeah.
Um, I mean, I have my moments. I have the moments where it's like you make your bed and then you just want to do everything, like clean the rest of the house. But I mean, I guess you have a little bit more time right now, right?
A lot of
For
time.
you got a lot of time, so you gotta fill up your day with something. Now,
Yeah.
for me, I don't know if I can spend like 5 hours detailing my car, although I wish I could. I mean, I can. I'm just choosing other things
Oh,
to
see,
be priorities.
I've never done what that person's done. I just find it interesting, and so like
You just find it interesting the whole concept of,
yeah, the process of it, I guess.
yeah,
And
that's
I don't
really
know
cool.
why. It's not like I'm interested in washing my car and keeping it clean. Like that doesn't sound fun. It's just so interesting to watch it. I think it's the same concept why people like hoarders. You
You
like to
like,
see it and you can't not look at it. Like you don't want to do that.
oh, that's I would attribute that to a term called dirty laundry. You heard about that?
No, not a term.
No? So dirty laundry would be like seeing all the crap on TV, particularly on the news. You like to watch fights. You like to see people get hurt. You find humor in it. Um, all that would fall under dirty laundry. Like people like dirty laundry.
Okay.
You know what
Well,
I'm
that's what
saying?
we talked about earlier about like how there's so many like weird things. Like let's say like hard drugs or like prostitution or like
Because there's
what are some crazy things that you would consider something like I would never do that? Like
like human trafficking,
sure, like human
like
trafficking.
human
But see like
trafficking mules.
there's enough people out there that are fine with that because it's still going on. Those people would
Right.
not be would not be doing it if they're not getting something out of it.
Right. So you're saying that there's basically things that
There's
we've
too
all
much. There's a lot of dirty laundry out there that people just don't
they
share.
just accept it, they
Yeah.
like it. The
Uh-huh.
black market. I mean, what else? What is going on that we don't even know that hasn't
Oh.
come out?
It's crazy.
Drinking someone's blood.
Dude, you don't even want to
Jesus
know.
Christ. Like,
Dude,
why?
we went to school with someone who would do that.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it a close friend of ours?
No. Well, I don't know if it was close friend. I ended up going to his house once and it was crazy. Like, it wasn't weird in the sense like there wasn't anything weird going on there because it was just him. It wasn't the rest of the people who lived in the house. And it was so interesting because the most interesting about the house was that they had goldfish. You know why that's weird? Because these goldfish were bigger than your head. Which means they had these, I think they said they had the goldfish for 10 years. Who can keep a goldfish alive for 10 years?
Okay, that's
And
pretty
they had
big.
like 5.
That's
I
a-
saw them, I was like, these are not same goldfish as the ones. They're like, yeah, we got these at a fair and we've been able to keep them
They
alive.
just take care of them. Wow.
I've never heard of anyone who's been able to have one for more than
Wait,
like
hang
2
on.
weeks.
But go back to the part where this guy's a vampire.
No, yeah, he would even talk about it at school, like to teachers and people. Like
Like,
He would-
what would he do?
he would drink blood, like
who's
he would
blood?
actually bite people too to get blood from them.
What?
Yeah, dude.
And like people were fine with this?
There's nothing that you can do about it. It would obviously be consenting. Like,
What?
there's nothing you can do about it.
I've never heard it. So
Dude,
this
there
is
are
like a,
vampire people out there. Like there are people you walk by who, just like how people identify as this or that, like they identify as a vampire. People shave their teeth are here to be sharp to be able to bite people. There's actually these like those teeth, those like Halloween teeth you put in.
yeah.
People make those to be able to puncture people, and they'll put them in like dentures, and they'll like bite people, suck their blood, and
Or they, I think I've seen, okay, maybe I have seen a couple people. I don't know they actually like were biting people and like
Oh, yeah,
drinking
dude.
blood.
yeah,
Ugh.
dude, there is a lot of crazy stuff out there, dude.
Where the hell did you see this? Oh, you saw
I never saw him actually do it, so sure he could be lying. But I did go look this stuff up, and there are groups who do it. Like there are groups who specifically don't want to go along the lines of just biting someone because they don't know if they have diseases and stuff. So a lot of these people, in a sense, I can't say a lot, but like a lot of the groups and things that I like ended up seeing did make it pretty clear like where they were getting this blood from. Like we're not just randomly getting Joe Slobo to pump some blood out of his arm and just drinking it. So like they would either test
They were
someone to make sure
cautious.
that because they know that drinking blood is not like
But it was like
it,
more of a
it can be a
fetish?
bad thing. Yeah, I guess it would be like that.
That's weird. That's a weird fetish to have. Like, okay, I mean, you can say what your fetish is now if you have one, but
I don't.
okay, what would
never
be,
really understood that
like
stuff.
what would be a cool fetish for you to have?
I don't really know anything except for like extreme fetishes that are freaking weird.
Okay, one of
But
those,
I don't want to choose one of those because I wouldn't like to have any of them.
like let's say that as we come into this earth, they're like you have to choose a fetish. Like there's no way out. There's 5 fetishes. You got to choose one of the 5.
Well, I really couldn't even say throw out 5 fetishes and I'll choose one.
I mean, I don't know, like
Like
balloon,
feet fetish?
foot fetish,
Okay.
balloon popping,
That's a fetish?
BDSM.
I don't even understand what BDSM is. Is that like chaining people up and like
I don't know. I
Like-
first heard about it on
is it just them wearing spandex? Like I don't really understand the concept.
me either. I think it's more about like domination and like controlled.
Is that what it is? Then it's just the category of all those things that are in that.
Yeah.
But, dude, I don't. Dude,
Okay.
this is too much. This is too much, man.
Well, check this
Out
out.
of those, balloons.
balloon popping. Oh, there's another one. There's a fart.
Oh, I've heard about that, dude.
Yeah, you've heard
I've
about that?
seen that done. No.
Okay,
Let's
would
not-
you? Okay, let's
that's not
check
good.
this out. Would you want to be on the receiving end or on the giving end of the fart
I
fetish?
don't know, but I've heard people enjoy both. God damn. I would
Did you
rather
ever
fart
know
on
people?
someone.
Like, what if
Who did I know someone who liked that? No.
dude, let's say like that you're going to school and that you have a average looking kind of middle-aged teacher and then like you wouldn't even know what this guy is into. You know what I'm saying? Like what if
Uh-huh.
he's one of those fart people that just likes to smell farts? You
Oh,
just
dude.
walking around them, you don't even know them.
Yeah, that's actually some of the stuff has actually come out because of like all these different like political things that are happening, and people are trying to now like show who they are in any form, like whether it be mm, like a sexual thing or a non-sexual thing, like they just want to show who they are. So now people are showing things that aren't like considered a acceptable thing for a teacher to be doing, and then they get they get people like parents who see that, like if you see that this guy is sniffing farts, like you don't want that person around your child who can fart, who then might do these things.
You mean they're using they're weaponizing this in a
Kind of, but
sense?
like there's been a lot of teachers who have done like porn, and then they get fired because the teachers or the parents think that the teacher is doing porn with their kids, or like
Oh
introducing
yeah,
them
yeah,
to it or
yeah.
things like that.
I guess like things like that aren't they're still not accepted in society. But things can change. I mean, who knows? Next thing you know, you're gonna get Ron Jeremy as your science teacher.
Oh, PE teacher probably.
PE teacher. Oh man,
Hey, but Richard Simmons would be a good PE teacher, man.
Richard
He was
Simmons.
the dude with the short shorts that had the afro, white guy. He would always be like, "Yeah, yeah,
Oh
one
yeah,
more
yeah,
time," and he
yeah.
always wear
The
like
spandex,
the spandex. That guy, dude.
the one piece.
Yeah,
Oh
that guy
yeah,
was
that's
funny, man.
dude. He made a ton of money
Yeah,
off those
and he wasn't even
infomercials.
fit, dude. That guy was always fat.
I know he was always working on his summer body. Yeah,
It's time to get in summer body.
I remember those.
Uh,
I think those things started like in the '80s or something. They
I
carried
remember.
over to like
I remember
early
seeing
two
it. Yeah.
thousands. So dude, this week I went on this like Reddit rabbit hole just the other day, and I got into a thing where it was like a I don't know what the correct term to use is, but like a small person, a dwarf person.
Okay.
They got limb lengthening procedures, and basically they made them taller.
What?
Yeah. So
As in like
actually,
having prosthetics, like
no,
they could pull it off and put it on.
no. So the thing was like the actual procedure cost like 85K, and basically what they do is they stretch your bones, and so it creates microfractures in your bones, and so they
That
do it
sounds
slow enough. Yeah, I
painful.
heard that it was really painful. So basically they break down your bone, and then they allow you to, but they I guess they just wait for it to heal.
Heal into some connector thing.
Yeah, I don't know how it works, man, but it's I mean, I just saw this
It'd
thing and
almost
I
be
just
like
went into this rabbit
healing
hole.
into another bone that has like a screw-in slot on the end, so they just then put on
I
the
don't
rest
know
of the
how
leg.
long. I
Like
should
you're
look
not
this up.
growing. Like these aren't like flesh, right?
Well, the I'm not sure how the.
Jeez, dude. Oh man.
Let me see. Limb length. Um.
Because I know there's like robot hands that are out that like you can control kind of like with your mind essentially. Because it's I don't know the whole science behind it, but
Mhm.
like it didn't necessarily look like it worked that great, but it worked well enough to where if you don't have hands, like this is a huge game changer for you.
Mhm.
So
Um.
maybe it's something like that where like
I
they do
don't.
have robotic hands, but man, dude, that's so expensive. Like
It
how can someone work up to even make that much money?
$85,000 for the surgery.
Like majority of the time. Oh no, sorry. I'm thinking someone who doesn't have arms or legs. These
So
people
check it
have
out.
arms and legs. Sorry,
Check
I
it
was
out.
thinking.
No, no, no.
I was
So
thinking.
check it out. It says leg lengthening and shortening are types of surgery to treat some people who have legs of unequal length. These procedures may lengthen an abnormally short leg, shorten an abnormally long leg.
Oh, so it's not like they're becoming like a 6 foot tall person.
So
It's just like
not a
they
six
might
foot
get
tall
like
person.
another foot at the
Look,
most.
see,
Ooh,
this
look at
would
all
be
the
like one
scars on the
person.
leg.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Let's see another one.
Yeah, so like
So you get like what, like
you get
3
maybe a
inches?
foot.
3 inches?
The other girl looked like she may have gotten like a foot.
So let's see.
Oh, that looks more like she got the procedure done to straighten her legs.
It says right
Ooh.
here. What's the method? The what is his name? The
Is it it's
Lizaro, the
Ilzarov.
Lizarov apparatus is type of external fixation used in orthopedic surgery to lengthen or reshape limb bones as a limb-sparing technique to treat complex and or open bone fractures, and in cases of infected no unions of bones that are not amenable with other techniques. And some people have asked, is limb lengthening painful? And during surgery, doctors separate the bone in your shoulder limb over the course of many months. Your limb could be lengthened by up to 6 inches. Wow.
I thought that like it looks like a crayon, but I thought that was like a warning, like don't read past this if if you're skittish. Ooh. So you're going in for them to give you pain, then come back over 6 months. You'd be in constant pain.
Yeah,
Oof,
that's
man.
crazy, right?
Yeah, I wonder what the after effects are though.
I mean, I wouldn't even know.
Like,
I mean, I guess you resume to normal. I don't know if you have any.
it's probably like that 50-50 chance where it's like could go back to normal or you could keep the pain. Like some people with the plastic surgery, like there's a like if you do anything
There's
around
like
the
side
abdominal,
effects? Yeah.
abdominal, uh, the doctor can't tell if they've like hit the muscle, and those muscles don't recover because they're used so much. That
Yeah.
I've heard that a lot of people who get that done have a lot of pain.
That's interesting, dude. I have another one
What?
that I so
You
that
gonna put
was
something up?
yeah, I can put this up. So this one, just I'm sure everyone on the internet has already seen this. But it was
Man bear?
so there was this Russian guy who reject. There's this Russian guy who was in a bear attack. So shock, twist, and story of man saved from Siberian bear den revealed. So I don't know if we can play this. I can probably play this for you. Just where's the remote control?
It's over there.
I got it.
You can just mute it on. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is just
You
a
can full
commercial.
screen it.
But anyway, there was
You hit the full
So
screen.
this is what it is. You can't.
Yeah, right there.
Well, I don't want to see their commercial. It says reports emerged that the body had been found this week in a cave after beast allegedly dragged the man to a den. Following the discovery of the man, who was named only Alexander, several publications have told the story of the man and shared a video of what happened to be a severely injured Alexander. Lying in hospital, reportedly that the man was diagnosed with a broken spine from his clash with the bear. However, despite reports saying that this was a miracle, that he didn't die, the story has been revealed as completely untrue, according to the independent local journalist. Video emerged in a messenger because saying that the man was found in a coffin in rural district of Sochi.
He was found in a coffin?
In a coffin?
Is that what you said?
The report then gained circulation from news agency Eurasia, becoming widespread media sensation. However, spokesman of the health ministry, we cannot confirm this happened in Tuva. Okay, anyway.
Did that say they found him in a coffin?
I don't know where they found him. So this
just said it up top.
Well,
Scroll up past the picture.
Yeah, but that they still
up past her.
it still
It
says
says
they still don't know if it's true or not. They
the
can't
man was
confirm it.
found in a coffin in a rural district. So
It says right
he
here, however, a spokesman for the health ministry in the Tuva Republic told East and West News, we cannot confirm the case happened in Tuva. So they don't know where it happened. But the original story was that this guy was dragged into a bear's den, that the bear was saving him for later because the bear is going to go into hibernation.
and
Or
so he ended
not,
up
I don't know, not even
living.
hibernation because it's summer. Like, I don't even know how that works. But maybe that story wasn't true.
Oh,
But it was saving him for
conspiracies.
later. Imagine that. I mean, let's say that was true. Let's see if see if we can. We're only gonna show the video. We're not gonna show. Wow.
Speaking
Wow.
of that,
That totally
not
broke
gonna
it
show
up, guys.
that. The circle of life.
Man, we have to get this a different setup. It ain't working.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway. So anyway, it just said that the man was taken into a den. His spine was broken. He survived for a month without anything, but
Like,
just drinking his pee.
oh, I guess it wouldn't really. Well, how could he drink his pee if his spine is broken?
Just kind of shoot it up.
No, dude, your spine is broken. I don't think
You cup it on your
your
hand.
ding
Man.
dong is gonna work,
You
bro.
just cup it on your hand, dude. Just
How? Your spine is broken.
what does your spine have to do with your piss?
Dude, if your spine is broken, you're paralyzed.
You paralyzed people still have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, someone helps them.
They still have to go to the bathroom though. They have to
Yes,
still.
yes, but they can't point it at themselves to pee.
You mean that all people who have broken their spines cannot move any of their limbs?
If it said his entire spine was broken, didn't it?
Maybe his limbs were working. I don't know.
Okay, fine.
You're
Since
being
I don't know,
extremely,
no. I
objective
know
about this.
if the lower part of your spine is broken, you most likely are paralyzed enough to where you ain't moving around. And if he's attacked by a bear, and he can't crawl out of the den, because that bear is not going to be in the den all the time.
Oh man, how
What?
do I unscreen this?
I don't think it shows. Or just put your hand up.
Huh?
There. Oh no, because it's gonna show that.
Just
I
do
don't
put
think
your
it
hand up.
shows, and it doesn't
Let's see,
matter. No one's gonna. They'd have to have.
Yeah, it does.
They'd have to have your phone. No. Oh, it does. Huh? Here, bro.
Dude, I can't have these people collecting my data, dude.
You're good.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Man, this thing, it's not working, dude. We gotta have
We can use like a separate phone that's not connected to anything but the Wi-Fi and no accounts, and it'll work fine. I might actually have that.
yeah. So this is the guy. Look,
No, that's not.
I think it's that one. I don't know how to mute this thing. Let's see if we can just show.
Well, the last one is because it opened up a new page.
I don't want to accept your stuff. Gosh, man.
If you just go to YouTube and type it in, you'll get the video, but then you'll also get an ad.
Gosh,
whatever.
I don't know how to work this. Anyway,
We saw the picture of him.
So, yeah.
It doesn't look good, and it's not gonna be fun. Just exit. What else did you had a few things written down?
well, yeah, those were the two.
The two? You had to get your notepad for the two things.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I actually had a few other things, but they were off the top of my head. That's my bad. Maybe they'll come back to me later. Well, anyway, we went to a farmer's market before we started the podcast. That was pretty interesting. I was telling Greg that seeing the dynamic in the way people interact with each other was very interesting. There's only been a few instances where I've been able to do that because sometimes there's so much noise, there's so much going on, you're not really paying attention.
Yeah.
and your attention's demanded from elsewhere, from other things. But it was just this today. I was just able to go in and basically, like, it was just, I don't know. Like, what did you think about it?
I didn't.
I thought it was very interesting, just seeing the commerce. They were all like independent people, no
I,
big companies,
I think
all
it was
family
kind of
owned.
interesting to see a couple of things. Like there was like three fruit stands, and one of them had like people walking through it. One of them had someone who would walk up, buy something, and walk away, and then the other one didn't really have many people. And I looked at the differences, and the one that had the most people, they were out there. They had three people out front talking. So they had
Bringing in
one person
traffic
giving out samples, the other
samples.
person uh, just like telling people about certain fruits or vegetables that people haven't seen, like purple cauliflower or some different strain of cucumber, or something that you don't normally see. And then they have the people back there who were taking money and all that. And then the other one didn't have any of that, but had good products. And then the third one was just kind of there, standing there, like guy and just holding on to the top of the tent, just
Hmm.
waiting for someone to buy something. So things like that were interesting. Um, just to see the difference in is it is it stuck?
Yeah, I was stuck, but I just
Oh.
wanted to get the pictures back up behind us. But anyway,
So the dynamic of how even at the farmers market that they're doing certain strategies because they see that it works.
isn't it funny how people were able to come up with that and figure that
Yeah.
out? Like, hey, what would, like, let's say, who was the first salesman? Like, who was the first salesman, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, who was like, hey, you see this rock? You can kill a bear with it. You want to buy this rock? You know? And then and
Sharpen
then
this rock to a point.
and then he had to basically scheme this sell. He just had to scheme it. He had to practice it. It took thousands of years of practicing. And then we have marketing.
It's like
And
when
then
you would trade
marketing.
furs and cows and chickens over some sort of money.
Yeah. Oil or yeah,
Yeah.
something.
And it's interesting how people get that information or how it works. Like you were telling me that some companies are running off of fear to get people to interact more,
It was anger.
anger.
I mean, I'm sure fear does the same, but anger, I guess it promotes more communication. Because if you're angry about something, you're gonna write a comment. So anger engages people more than likes or positive things. Like how many days, you're talking to
Yeah.
someone like, hey, have a good day. That's it. But if you're like, hey, fuck you, bro, then it's gonna be an
Then you
altercation. You're
yeah.
gonna get in a fight. It's
More
gonna,
happens in the bad than happens in the good.
yeah. And when it comes to people or companies, they don't care if it's good or bad. They just care that it brings your attention there. And so that's where it gets like the slippery slope.
But see, at the same time though, that could be bad. Like I don't know, like with Carl's Jr. commercials, I don't know if anyone like my parents stopped going there. I never really liked Carl's Jr.,
Mm-hmm.
but like I think it did kind of make a lot of people not go to Carl's Jr. anymore.
What?
Because they started doing those like sexy girl ads where like it would just be like boobs with like barbecue sauce dripping on
Are you
them and
kidding
like
me? More people, all the
I
guys wanted to go get Carl's Jr.
I mean I guess it probably had to have done something to get more people to go because they kept running those ads, but I don't know. I guess it's something
Sex
that you have to be
sales.
able to see in a big scheme of
I mean,
things.
sex sales, man. They were targeting low income working class men. I mean, all men. like even white collar men. They were targeting men in particular.
Yeah.
They weren't targeting women. Like women were looking at these things like, what? I mean, I guess it worked both ways. You got the attention of men, and then you got the attention of women because they're like, well, this sexy girl's having a Whopper, whatever the hell they're eating, and they look like that. I can eat a Whopper too.
Or it's
You know what I mean?
they want to look that way, like the whole Instagram thing right now. You can literally walk out and see people look exactly like
Like the
there's a
pictures.
style you call Instagram girl.
I'm surprised.
Like I walk around like, look at that
I'm
Instagram girl.
I'm surprised they don't have filters like walking around. Like they should just be a filter like where they have like the cartoon.
I know there's someone that I know that every time they take a picture and post it, it always has a filter on it, and it's like,
Bro,
why?
you gotta get that smooth face.
Stop.
Bro.
Like I'm fine with the whole like distorting the picture, like to turn a color picture into like black and white, or to put like a little fog over it, or something like that to kind of enhance the image. But to add something that you will never have is different. Like there's this one for like girls. It just does their makeup.
Yeah, or the one that it was like the dog filter for a long time.
Dude, I hate those. The dog ears and the nose, like I'm I'm so fed up with
But
those.
it's cute, bro. It's cute.
So it's not though. Every time I see those pictures, I'm just
But
like,
girls think it's
oh my
cute.
god!
Girls think it's cute, man.
Like if I were to send a picture to a specific person, that's just fine. But like even if you go on like, let's say, sure, some people don't care and they're just there to have sex. But like you go to like a like Bumble or Tinder, like you're gonna find people's profiles that only have pictures with those filters on, where they're a dog or and they're a cat and then they're a horse and then they're a pig. It's like you're gonna put that on there on a dating website, like. Sure, if you're just going to get laid, it doesn't matter. But like, if
It's
you're actually
trendy.
going for the purpose of the website to match with someone and go out with someone, then like, do you want that as your picture? Like, even
Well,
I understand not to do that, and
no,
I don't
well,
necessarily care about pictures like that.
well, for one, it makes them look better.
No, it doesn't. I instantly swipe left.
Well, you because you're a special person.
You call me
But-
special.
Yes, I am. There's girls where they just think that they look cuter that way. That they have a smooth face, that it like shortens your face or whatever, narrows your face or whatever it does to you.
Uh-huh.
Or it gives you bigger eyes because that's more attractive.
That's why the picture's taken from up top, because it
Well,
gets
that's-
rid of like.
That's
Your
that's
sh-
the
your
that was
shenanigans.
the MySpace angle, bro. That was old school. That,
That
was
was
before
Tom,
filter.
dude.
That
Even
was the
Tom did it.
that was the filter. That was the beginning of a filter, not of not the filters themselves, but like the filters of um distorting reality, like
Dude, this
the
oh
angle.
my
It was
God,
the
dude.
angle.
That's exactly. We're gonna get holograms like in Star Wars, dude. Where they just come up. Like, can you imagine if like you do that and then all of a sudden the person just semi looks like them? So like your head's being deceived into like seeing, like, say there's someone who's like 4 feet tall, and then all of a sudden that same person is now 8 foot tall, and you're just like, who are you?
You mean
Like
getting
that's like a
catfished?
filter, dude.
Like getting
Yeah.
catfished?
It'd be like catfish, but it's like if you decided that you wanted to be fat one day, and so it's you but fat, and that's what I see. I'm just like, what the hell? Like, that's exactly what the filters are doing.
Well, yes, but then also you have to realize this, and you have to be going in there and thinking like, okay, this is a filter. I'm not gonna get my hopes up. Like I don't know, things can change. And
Like that's crazy that like even some people do that where they just want to look different, and then they go on the date, the catfish concept. But it's like, what do people expect? Like, you're not the same person. Like, I'm instantly gonna be like, what the heck? Or you start something off with a lie. Like,
they don't
it's
know
ridiculous.
because they don't understand how to cultivate relationships. They don't know they have a hard time. They probably have social anxiety. They're probably insecure about themselves. They're not confident. So people will come up with some elaborate ways to deceive people. Like Instagram. Like dude, I seen some people who are pretty famous on Instagram. Then I saw them in person, and I was like, oh man, like damn, I should have just kept seeing them on Instagram. You know,
Yeah.
like now I know what you look like, and you don't look that great. Like you just look like an average person.
Yep.
But I mean, I guess that's what I don't know. I guess the whole argument would be, um, you just know them, so you just know of them, so they become you kind of put people on a pedestal,
Yeah. Well, it's
right?
like even with like certain things, like it doesn't make sense. Like I used to follow like Twitch TV all the time, which was like video games, and there'd be a game that has like consistently 500 people watching it over multiple different streamers. So it's like no one would have more than like 50 viewers. And then you have this one person who just only plays that game as well. So let's just say like FIFA.
Hmm.
So there's 100 people watching all these streamers. And it's consistently only 100 people usually watching this game. And then this person gets on who only plays FIFA whenever they get on. Gets on and then has 10,000 people watching them. It's like I know there are certain things on that site that manipulates viewers, but like people, a lot of the time, sure, people may start with you on something, but then they just eventually watch you for you because they view you as a friend almost.
Yeah, you like. I mean, I guess
It's
it's
the
gonna
same thing with like McDonald's, dude. I view
podcasts.
McDonald's as a friend and like not thinking of it, and you get the pleasure when you get the food, and that's it. And then afterwards, you're like, God damn it, why did I eat that?
Yep,
And
it's
then you're
all
like, hey, McDonald's sounds good, let's go.
well. That's
Like,
well, it's their marketing. It's the happy place.
it's the pleasure you get from it
Yeah,
though.
but
And
they
that's where people don't get pleasure from eating vegetables. And see that's one of the issues why like it's hard for people to like lose weight or things like
what do
that
you
because
think
they're not
about
getting they're
vegetarians?
not getting pleasure.
What
Like
about
sure,
vegetarians?
they lose 10 pounds.
But what about vegetarians?
What
Do you
about it?
think they get pleasure from eating plants?
Some people enjoy vegetables
Yeah.
and enjoy not eating things, and some people are born who just don't like meat. Like uh I think the only vegetarians that I actually know said that they don't like eating meat. It has nothing to do with anything else outside of that. So like them eating a piece of steak is not like them thinking that they're killing an animal or anything. It's them just they really just don't like meat.
Yeah.
So they do get pleasure out of eating these other things. They prefer eating those. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I think you
But
just have to turn something into
but
pleasure.
I mean, like, look at Coca-Cola. They were using a polar bear, a friendly polar bear on Christmas, with a baby polar bear, trying to give you, they're trying to have you buy Coca-Cola that way. Like, bears are predators. They're not friendly, but they made them appear that way. You look at some of like the Hispanic community brands. Like you get this cute little white bear on all your breads. Why? What does the bear have to do with bread? They don't even eat bread. Why did they choose those as a as a like a brand? Because it's like bears are snuggly because people relate to them. Like
With
look
big
at
and
the
hairy.
toilet paper company,
Yeah.
Bears. Like what?
It's actually funny
Or
that
is
you're
it that
because you're going deeper into these concepts, and it's like one of the places that I sharp at, where these places are trying to fight for your business, and even passively you may not think that like they've already targeted you for some reason, and that's literally the name of the store that I want to talk about. Target. They literally say it in their name,
yeah.
and their logo is literally a target.
Yeah,
They're targeting
you
everyone.
is you.
Yeah,
The
it's
target is you.
interesting. But I
Um,
don't necessarily think in every form of like advertisement it's a target in a bad sense. Like if you're trying to shoot a target to which is the deer that you're going to eat and provide for your family, like that's fine,
well,
but like
the
I
this
don't
is
know if you
this is the
understood what I
thing.
meant by that.
Yeah, this is the thing. There's both good and bad things. Like if it wasn't for these stores, we wouldn't have the convenience of buying this toilet paper that you need for your house. What are you gonna go do? Wipe your ass with your hand? Like here in America, not a lot of people have what are they called bidets.
Yeah.
So That's one of the things. Like, well, you accept it's a trade-off. You're
Mm-hmm.
giving them your hard-earned money for a service or whatever they're providing you, which is that's business. So business can be whatever you want. Like you want to do art and sell your artwork and make people happy, you can do that. Do you want to target them and hook them on caffeine and just have a bunch of people who just go into your place for coffee? You can do that. And same thing with social media. Like we as people have the choice to go on it or not go on it. But what happens is that these things are highly addictive and they're made that way because they do their homework. They go to psychologists. How do you engage more people? Oh, anger. Okay, let's anger. Let's get more money. It's not that they're necessarily being bad, but sometimes the products that they come up with, they're not so good, but yet people engage in them all the time. Like let's say, I guess we use social media a lot, right? But let's continue with that.
Uh-huh.
Um, you get people actively going on it and commenting and getting in fights all the time. Like you get that people. So if there's a market and there's a demand, the people making the money, they're gonna capitalize on that. That's what the business is about. It's about making the most money and paying as less taxes as you possibly can. Still being legal. Like
That's why
that's what the business is.
sometimes it's funny. Like we were watching the debates earlier, and like how like um people who go into the government, you hear them talk about like de or increasing taxes, and then like you look at the background and they're like a business owner. It's like, what business owner would ever want to increase taxes?
You gotta know that these guys they're getting a lot of money that they're not talking about it. There's a lot of money maybe going offshore somewhere else, going into a trust in another country. Dude, I'm sure people are getting money left and right. They're getting private planes. Oh, it's a write off? What? Okay, yeah, sure. This house, this place is gonna be a write off? And then I'm gonna be able to flip it for triple?
Fly land on my head.
Uh sorry dude. So I mean anyway, I'm not gonna let that distract us. Yeah, man, it's pretty crazy. I mean, what are you gonna do? People are giving them money. Like, what are you gonna do? The only thing that we can do is not. It's choose not to be that way. And some
Yeah,
people are weaker than others, and some people, they don't have the same morals or they don't have the same values. And
that's like what you were just talking about with like just stores that sell bad products, and we keep going and buying them. But like, there's a lot of things that you have no option anymore.
you
Like,
have an option, dude. You have an
no,
option
because it's
to
like,
everything.
mm,
I
I
wouldn't.
don't
I
I don't
wouldn't
think so,
say
because it's like
90%.
we're talking about toilet paper. Where are you gonna go to get some other toilet paper if you don't agree with these toilet paper
Bro,
companies'
what if I
stance on
want to
things?
turn
Like,
vegan
are you
and
gonna
just
start?
fertilize my own freaking my
You'll
garden
be
outside
regulated. You gotta make sure it's USDA approved.
for myself? Like, oh, you can't even grow your own food here. Like,
No,
you can't
you can
even.
have like in the backyard. Uh, I'm actually going
I
to be
think that's.
I'm actually going to be tilling it out, and we're gonna plant
Don't
pumpkins.
don't say nothing because you might get fined, bro.
No, it's not a thing. You
Yeah,
can
I
grow your
heard.
own
I heard
stuff.
that you couldn't.
I don't think you can have a whole farm. Like, I don't like I no, that's actually a thing. I think in Garden Grove, actually, a lot of people have transformed their front yard to be a vineyard. And they grow, yeah,
Vineyards.
and they grow grapes in their front yard. They're,
What?
instead of having a lawn, they grow a vineyard.
What? I've
You've
never
not
heard of this
seen that? You've
before.
never seen that?
No.
Yeah, dude. I think it was popular in a certain like kind of community. I would assume it's Asians, because there's a lot of
The
Asians in Garden
Vietnamese
Grove.
community.
Yeah, is that Is it Vietnamese? Okay. Um, but yeah,
Oh,
I would
that's
assume it might.
Westminster.
Um, they're pretty much right next to each other,
Yeah,
so it may even be Westminster. But
I've never
yeah,
seen that. That's
yeah,
interesting.
and because I think it takes less water for grapes than it does for like a lawn, so it was one of those things of like transforming your lawn to take less water, because in California with that whole drought thing. So
Is that still even going on now?
the drought,
Yeah.
I don't think we're considered to be in a drought like we were, but people would probably still say that we have less water.
I mean, what? I mean, like that would be the only thing. Like, we don't have any other options of getting water. Like, you can get tap water and just filter, it, but is it clean?
Yeah, that's the stuff I've never actually really thought about that. Do you have an option with your water company? No, right?
No, I think the water is regulated by the city, which
Which
then
is
goes by
then
the
state and
state,
then
and then
whatever.
it goes federal.
So who's profiting off of water?
Private companies who are bottling it up. That's
Dang, is there gonna be a water conspiracy now? Did you hear about the chicken
no, I mean it's a
conspiracy?
thing. It's a
Not
thing.
conspiracy, but they're talking about chickens now. About how I guess there's been like some behind the scenes pricing of chickens where they've decided on a price and everyone's like going with it. So apparently the price of chicken is gonna start going down.
The price of chicken is gonna start
Yeah,
going down.
because they were like manipulating the market or something.
You mean that they were actively manipulating the the market, and
Hmm.
then now everyone's like, hey, it doesn't cost as much to make chickens. Like, you have to put it down.
Yeah,
Who's regulating them?
I don't know,
This is
but
this is just
I just
recent.
saw this. I haven't like looked into the whole thing, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, but it's like why? Like sure, maybe different people have different jobs, and this person did a good job, and now is bringing this to light. But like, who's researching about chicken, the cheapest meat out there? Like, who cares about the damn chicken? Like, why aren't you guys looking at other things that are more important? Like, who's spending time looking into this?
Well, I don't. I mean, someone's gotta.
No, that's what I said. Like, maybe this person was the someone and they got their information and now they're bringing it to light. Where there may be someone working on this more important thing, but it's taking more so you don't see it.
Yeah.
So, like, I can understand that, but it's just like, chicken? Really? You're giving us this?
I mean, I think
Like,
I'm good with some chicken. I don't know about you. I would want to pay less for my chicken. But like, what if it's not even that? What if they just like, hey, now we understand how to make chickens or chicken meat without having the chicken. Just engineered in the lab, and they're gonna be 5 cents a chicken. Imagine that, dude. What if we're not eating
dude,
chicken anymore?
dude, they would put those gumball machines back, but stuff them with chicken. So you just put a nickel in and get a chicken, and then
Chicken
you just have to
nuggets.
go home and ring it.
Oh man.
Dude, I was watching this show middle of the night. I walk out, it's on the TV. I'm sitting there and I'm watching. I was like, "What's going on?" And this lady was had a rabbit in her lap on like a towel. She was petting the rabbit, and I was like, "What are they doing?" And I was told that it was that she was going to kill the rabbit for food. She was gonna make rabbit stew or something. She was a cook, so she was gonna be making something.
But if the rabbit was alive?
Yeah, so she was gonna kill it right there, and that's why the towel was there, so she could cover the rabbit and kill the rabbit. And I was just like, "What? Like, they're gonna show this?" Like, I sat down and I was waiting. I was like, "So why is she sitting there like petting this rabbit? Like, is this like a goodbye thing?" And she's like, "No, it's nothing like that. It's calming the heartbeat, so the blood doesn't like like stiffen
Oh
up or
yeah,
like
yeah.
they calm them
I have heard about
and then
that.
do it." But they also say it's to be humane, so that when they die, they're dying peaceful rather than like, "What's happening? What's happening?"
So what did she do?
I was just like,
Just put her in
"What?"
a triangle
They
hole?
didn't show, no. But it's
Dude,
just I think he snapped the necks.
have you ever seen chickens like how you're supposed to like or not how you're supposed to, but like how Hispanic people,
You just chop
like
the
my
head and then
people?
let the body run around, right?
No, dude. Like, dude, I remember back in the day, man, in Mexico, my mom used to grab, we had this big backyard or whatever, um, enough room to have, gosh, I don't know, a dozen chicken or something. She would just go pick one that was like the oldest one that wasn't giving many eggs, and just go grab it by the neck, and then you would twist it, break the neck, and if it didn't die by breaking the neck, you would just like slam it against the freaking ground. And it was just like this
Oh,
violent mess. There were feathers everywhere. The chicken still like clucking, like, and
oh,
then oh man, it was crazy. But
I know,
that's
but
what
I
you
mean,
had to do. Like, how else are you gonna kill a chicken? With a rock? Kick it?
yeah.
Like, what are you gonna do?
I was like, I was at an apartment and there was a possum, and so they were gonna call like animal control, but this guy that just moved in, barely spoke any English, just he grabbed a hammer. He just went over to the possum and just started hitting the possum. And we're
What?
just like, what are you doing? Like, and then yeah, he just dug a hole and put the possum in it, and then went on with his day.
See, that's totally inhuman. Like, not inhumane. That's not even so
Like,
gross.
I guess there's a way of doing it because that possum definitely hurt when it was going down. I mean, you don't die. Well, I mean, you could get injected and just fall asleep, but and I don't think anyone's doing that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like even what you would, what is it? Is it halal? The way they like cut the meat. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know what
I know what you're
the
talking about, but I'm not sure what you're
it's like the
referring to.
most humane way to kill the animal, and then you have to drain the blood a specific way, and like they say it's supposed to be the most humane for the animal to die, but like there's no difference. Like it could be this cow who's killed a specific way makes it halal, but if that same cow was killed this way, like you're not supposed to eat it. There's like
Is that
it's
like
a
a religious
religious, yeah,
belief?
it's a
Oh,
religious
I
belief, but I don't.
figured.
But the type, I I think like the type of food they like classify it as is halal because there's like specific types of food. Like
What is that like? Middle East or
I
something?
I don't know off the
I'm
top
just
of my
guessing.
head.
I don't know. Well, I mean, what about like the fact that like chefs, sushi chefs? I don't even know if they're called chefs, but um, when you make sushi, like there's a certain way to cut the fish, or else it tastes bad or it spoils the fish. You know about that?
Not
There's
about
like a
that.
technique. It's an actual art form to
Yeah,
make
because of
sushi.
like the way it's like blood vessels are going or something like that, maybe because it may release fish fluids.
I'm not sure what the why, but I just know that there's a certain way to cut salmon. There's a certain way to cut like all these different types of cuts of fish.
Yeah. No, I didn't know that because I don't eat fish, so
And you
never
should try
never
them.
thought about it.
Delicious.
I've had salmon before, the raw salmon, but either is there some kind of plain just raw salmon that people normally get? 'Cause this was just it was literally a piece of salmon cut up in a bunch of small
Is,
tiny pieces and
did
just a
I?
piece of salmon, like no seasoning, no like
Yeah,
roll, just a piece of salmon.
yeah.
I put it
That's
in,
called sashimi.
I put it in, and it's like, have you ever chewed on a piece of chicken that's not been cooked all the way?
No,
It's, oh, really? Well, that's the only feeling I could say that it would be like. Be like, it was very just, it didn't taste bad. It just didn't have any taste, and it didn't have a good, like, chew feeling. So, like, it was just like, why would I ever want to do this again? But anytime I've
some
had
people
normal fish,
enjoy
it's just
those.
bad.
Like for me, I like regular sushi. Like I'm not. I was a big roll type of guy, but no, like recently, it's just been sushi. Just like give me the fish on top of a bed of rice. That's it. Maybe
So
I'll
you're just eating fish and rice.
yeah.
So
That's
you're
really
just
good.
eating uncooked fish with rice,
Yeah.
where you would normally like probably have cooked fish with
Well,
rice.
yeah, sushi, but it's so good, man. I really like it,
Yeah.
and I really like it after a workout. It gets you like nice and full. It kind of pumps you up a little bit.
What is it? What is it called when you have steak sushi? You know what I'm talking about? There's a specific. I think it's a specific part that you can eat, and it's done the same way as sushi.
Raw.
Yeah, you eat it raw.
I've never heard about it. Kind
And
of
I've heard
interested in
I've
that, but
heard both ways that it's really good, and then I've heard it's really bad. So
I have no idea. I don't think I've had an experience with that. Just
it gets super expensive too. So I think that's why most people haven't done it.
it's like one of those
It's like eating a golden steak. Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Like, I will never buy a tomahawk steak again. Like
A tomahawk?
yeah, like what I got when we went to the what is it called, Magic Castle. I got that big old tomahawk
We're
steak.
supposed to talk about it.
Shh, that
Let's talk
place
about it.
doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like $75. It was like, sure, it was good, but like it
Oh.
wasn't so good that I'm gonna be spending $75.
This is the thing, Greg. You went and you bought a steak where they don't specialize in steaks.
Yeah, but
There's another thing that I saw. This
Oh.
place, it's like $100 steak. They cook you an actual tomahawk steak, but it feeds like 2 people.
yeah,
And it's supposed to be ridiculously good. Like, I
sure,
wouldn't mind going to do that.
sure, but like I don't know, unless it was to the point where money didn't really matter anymore, where it's just like I could buy something and not even think about it.
What's your to
Or it's like
go-to?
when something like that, like the tomahawk steak for 2, that's like $500 or $5,000, whatever it is. When you can not think about getting that, like how we don't necessarily think about putting $1 into a vending machine to get a soda, like then I'll start doing those
You
kind
mean
of
like
things.
have fuck you money?
Yeah, like that would be like us getting a can of soda. Like
Yeah.
unless I had money like that, those kind of things, I feel like I've probably
Well,
given up.
you gotta start dedicating some time to that cleanliness thing you were talking about. So you make something out of it.
Yeah.
Need some money for that, dude.
Actually, I've already told someone. I was like, I'll detail your car. How much you gonna pay me? They're like $10. I was like, at least 50. You're gonna clean
$50?
your whole car. If you go anywhere to do the same thing I'm gonna do for you, it would be like $150.
In detailing, yeah, but I guess like I've seen some people who were just mobile car washes.
Yeah,
They charge like $25 per car.
yeah, they do, and those ones do pretty well. I was actually thinking about that, like, as just doing like a side thing with that, but I heard it's harder to do around here now with like water laws and stuff.
Yeah, that's definitely something that's gonna affect the business. Um,
Like I've seen two things. Like they'll go to a private business who has a structure, and then they'll just do it there, and there's no issue, because they're allowed to be there. And I've actually,
private property.
yeah, I was dropping my son off at school, and I saw a guy doing it in a school's parking lot. Like I would assume it's like the teachers. Like I was just thinking about that because it's like you go to big places where people go who are always usually super busy. You get a bunch of people right there, and you don't have to do a lot of traveling. You don't have to pick up like
One
you
after
can
the
do the
other.
same amount. Like say he can do 25 cars in a day. That's just the most you can do. He doesn't now have to travel to all 25 of those cars. He saved his money right there. And then to incentivize them to stay with you, you just give them a discount, which is the same as what you would have spent on your gas anyways.
That's right. Yeah, it's a yeah, I think it's a big business right now, especially here where we have like summer all year.
Yeah.
Except this year, I don't know what the hell happened this year. It was like hot and it was raining and then it was raining a lot. Remember that?
Yeah.
Just even 2 weeks ago it was raining. Or last week it was raining.
Yeah. Actually, sorry, this has nothing to do with what you just said, but I was thinking about it like a new job that like I don't understand how it's not a thing. Like it kind of is, but not in this sense. Like it's a like a video. What would you call a person who takes like video of someone? Is that a cinematographer?
Videographer?
A videographer? That's a person who works on the video, but doesn't necessarily record it. Let's just say cameraman.
A producer?
Let's just say cameraman.
No, videographer.
Why isn't there like a
videographer
like
would
a
be
YouTube of like cameramen where like because people want their lives recorded and they record it on their phones. Why don't they have like an Uber for that where like someone will follow you around and just record you? Like you're out on a night with your friends and they'll record your shenanigans.
Would you want people to see that part of your life?
I don't know. Do any of these people care? Like majority of the people
I'm
who
sure
post
that-
on Instagram post these stupid things. Like
I'm sure
they
that
do all
there's
these stupid. They
well,
get drunk and they freaking
I
fall
kinda-
on the
I
floor
kind of
and
want
puke
to do
everywhere.
commentary. I want to do commentary, like wear GoPros and just do commentary on like walking around people.
Do like people watching, but do it as they can hear you.
Not that crazy. But you know, you're like, oh, look at those people. Look at this guy over there. What is he doing? What is this guy doing over there? Or something like that, right?
You would have to go and say, "Hey, is it fine if we use you
That's
in
the
our video?"
thing that you get sued. That's the problem. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, no, you probably can't do that because you probably sue you left and right.
Yeah,
Nobody got time for that.
yeah, it'd be hard. Like you could sit there and get a bunch of people, but then if you make fun of them, like, "Oh, what are you gonna say about me?" Like we're gonna make fun of you. Like people are gonna be like, "Nah." If someone did that, I think I might say yeah. Like I think you'd be fine with it.
Hashtag roast Greg in the comments for anybody that's
roast,
listening.
roast all day.
Roast Greg in the comments.
Do you have anything else you were thinking about?
No, I mean,
Something that you're trying to do this week?
no, not really.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess today was kind of cool because I was telling you during the walk, I kind of had like a surge of anxiety.
Uh,
But then it just went away. Like I guess I figured out like, this is what it is. It's fine. It's like I came to peace with it today,
yeah.
which was really good. Now I
Like
feel great.
maybe like how you said you had anxiety about it. Next time like we go to like to do something like that where it involves talking, try to pay attention to how I am. Maybe it's I'm getting the same anxiety you are, but not until a situation like that happens.
You mean like you got a surge of anxiety when we were
Yeah, like you
talking
were
to
talking to
people?
the lady who had the about the dog training,
Yeah.
and then you had said something, and I was just like, I know where this is going. I literally turned my back to you and just laughed.
Why?
Did you even notice that? Like
No.
I turned away completely, like the opposite way of you, and just laughed.
Laughed?
Yeah,
Why?
because I don't know, it was awkward to me. Like everything from start to finish in the conversation was awkward. Did you
Like
not feel awkward?
no. I
To
felt
me, the
like
whole conversation on both sides is so
I felt
awkward.
like
So awkward. I don't know.
really.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I wouldn't know because it wasn't when you were outside and you're a spectator. You can see you have a different perspective. Like maybe it was awkward. I wasn't
I
feeling
think I
it.
overthink it, the majority of the circumstance when it
Well,
comes down to things like that.
social. You may have a little bit of social anxiety.
Yeah, because it's like you would walk somewhere, like say you walk to a booth and you walk to the middle of it. I would have to think like, what side am I gonna go on?
Why?
Like this side's gonna be weird because like it's gonna be weird for me to go over here because you're gonna want to go this way, so I should go over here so that we can walk this way. But it's weird because then I have to stand by this pole. Like I don't know. I think of things like that. It's kind of weird.
But do you get like clammy hands from it, or like
Mm,
sweaty, or like hot flashes?
no, but I like.
Okay, so what? This is what I felt, dude.
I
Like for me,
might like if I had to initiate the conversation, I probably would get that.
well, for me, it was like okay. So I was talking to you, but so I guess this would be the last thing we talk about today. I brought up the subject about having the phone,
Uh huh.
and the reason why I got this surge of anxiety was because I was getting like phone calls, like
Okay.
back to back, and I was like, wow, like I'm just trying to relax, like damn, like, and I was feeling like, is Greg getting pissed? Like, how does this guy, how does my friend feel that I now have to take my attention off him and then, um, pick up a phone call that's relevant to what's happening? Because we were in the middle of a conversation, and then it hit me. It was like, wow, like many people can't stay off their phone. Like sometimes I see it more now. Yesterday I went to the gym. I forgot my headphones. One of the very few times I go to the gym without headphones, and it was weird just seeing people. For me, I was like, wow, this is cool. Like I don't look like any of these people. I'm not partaking in the same thing these people are. It's I'm like, wow, I'm separated from the pack, and I kind of like that. Well, I'm looking at everybody. Everybody has headphones. People have the new AirPods. Like they're dropping $300 on headphones left and right, and I just can't. I'm beginning to understand what it is. Like I knew what it was, but I didn't understand what it actually does. Like I didn't understand that it takes your your um your gosh, it takes your mind off things
Yeah, it takes
to
your focus to it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's I don't know, it's a brain killer. I think you're the more we're attached to the devices, which is weird that we're doing this podcast, but I don't know, maybe this is
When
why.
when you talk about brain killer, like that's actually something that I was saying earlier was how we need it, but we don't also need it at the same time. So it's like computer has all these answers that we don't have stored. Like you
Right.
ask it what 500 million times 2 is can 10 million. That's easy math. But like when you do something crazier, when you do that like 1.9876 million times 3, it'll give you the answer right away. You can't do anything like that. Those kind of things are fine, but we've gotten to the point where it's them just telling us information that we then throw out
You
with
don't
no
even need
information,
and you
like
don't
with no like knowledge of, like, if someone told you that 4 times 3 is 18, like we're just spitting it back out now. That's not, we're not processing anything anymore.
right. And
There's
it's
there's
because
no process, there's just read repeat.
and it's because it takes time to process information.
Yeah.
Like you don't just read something that blows your mind. You're like, oh, okay, cool, I get it now. Nah, like you're like, well, what? Wait, what?
Mm.
This is the way life is. This is the way things work. And it takes some time to understand the information. But what happens when you're just getting bombarded by information? Like, oh, look, your friend posted on Twitter. Hey, look, this person said this about this. Hey, look, the debate. Hey, look, the Instagram post. Hey, look, did you see my life? Did you see what I'm doing in my life? Hey, did you see this? Hey, hey, hey. Like, your attention is always being bombarded by things. And it hit me. And that's why I was like, oh, man. I could not believe that I had fallen to this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm gonna go and delete all my social media now and do all this stuff because it's. I mean, I like that there's information that I have access to it. And to some extent, I have control of what type of information I want to do. So it's more about like now it's me understanding what it is, and then consciously picking and choosing what I want to put in my head.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't need garbage. I don't need who got into a fight at the debate. Like I don't really care about that. Like unless they're talking about something that's um life changing or like it's gonna change the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't want to hear about you being okay with these people. Like I don't really care. Like what does that say about you? Who are you? I want to know who you are. I don't want to know what you know who people have told you to be. I want to know who you are and if I can trust you and what you're saying. And with politicians, when it gets to things like that, like everyone's just wearing a mask, right?
Yeah.
And I mean that's besides the point. But in terms of like just what technology is doing, we really do not understand how fast this thing is coming.
Yeah, we didn't learn how to learn from it. We learned how to use it,
Right.
which the like
Not how to create it.
yeah,
Well, I mean, I guess we
it's like
did,
a
but
kid
some
finally learns that he has legs and can stand on them, but doesn't know how to. And I think that because we didn't learn how to learn from it, we're kind of screwed because the new people coming up aren't like, they're already in the same boat we are. Like, and now they are learning less in a sense.
well, I think that they're learning less of life experience, of the real experiences that actually mold a person. Because I mean, I don't know, like, is information molding you? I guess it's conditioning you. It's making you think a certain way.
Yeah, but either
But
false information
but how do you
or too
trans?
much information at the same time. Like, you can't do anything with it. Like, if someone wants to explain like how to draw this, and they did it in a 5 minute video, they're like, yeah, you gotta start with this outline, then you gotta do this, and you gotta do shade, and then you gotta do this, and then you add the color on top. Like, you're gonna forget probably 80% of the steps. You're gonna remember the three big main ones. You're gonna do that, and then you're gonna wonder why it didn't come out the same because you skipped the other 6 steps.
That's
Like,
right.
there's
And
not.
obviously, this takes a lot of dedication and commitment and time
Mhm.
and practice.
And so none of this is any of that. It's just take the information and then move on to the next thing. Because there's so much new stuff that every time you hear something new or you discover something new, you're like, oh, this is cool. Oh, this is cool. So you don't want to get out of the,
Oh, the new phone.
oh. So you don't actually learn anything. You just keep learning that there are new things.
It's like a
It's like being
like
a constant
never,
discoverer. Like,
it's a never-ending void.
it's like feeling like Christopher Columbus when he discovered America. Like, if that was true.
Wouldn't it be like materialism,
It's like the
right?
guy
Because
who
you just never can have the one car. You need the next thing. Oh, and then the next
Well,
thing.
but it's the same thing. It's like the you're getting that feeling of a huge accomplishment, but it's not consistent
It's
enough because
instantaneous and
it's
empty.
not it's not something that stands out. It's something that's like you
It's
get
like a drug.
you get the new, like, you got the Mustang, and now, like, when you go to the Mustang, you probably feel, oh, this is normal. Like,
I
it's not a
do,
big
but
deal anymore.
no, I do think it. Yeah, this is normal. But then I also think about it this way. I'm like, wow, I actually got the car that I for once I wanted to get this car, and now it's surreal to me. And so I'm more of like appreciative in a way, like grateful that I was able to do that.
Mhm.
And then now I'm thinking about it, like, what else can I do? Like, can I visualize myself? Because I did a lot of visualization when it came to the car. Like, I was like, always thinking about, well, how am I gonna drive it? Like, picturing myself driving the car. And now that I've done it, I'm like, it's normal. But then there's this time you're like, yeah, this is my car.
And why? Because it's different. You don't see it. Like, if
Wait,
everyone else had the same thing, you would lose the value for it.
you mean in terms
Like, it
of
wouldn't
like
be as
other
cool.
people?
Like, you pull out your
It's not
phone.
normal.
Yeah, you pull out
Yeah.
your phone, and now I pull out my phone, and there's no, like, oh, okay, our phones are pretty much the same. Like, cool. There's no accomplishment there. That's what accomplishments are. Like, you go and get your doctorate. There's not enough people out there who have the doctorate. Sure, you may be around a lot of people who have doctorates, but you walk around the normal day life, you have that edge. Like, you're like, oh, okay. Then that kind of accomplishment stays and gives you momentum. Where if just everyone had a doctorate, like, that wouldn't mean anything anymore. When you walk
It
out,
would just be normal
you're
school.
gonna walk out and not feel like you have something on
It would
someone.
just be normal school.
Yeah.
Like, we would just be more advanced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's that stuff in the feeling of having gadgets and stuff. Like, there's no excitement about it. It's like, even back in the day, like, they would be super excited about who got the biggest deer or something like that. Or, like,
Biggest
even
ones.
in nature, like, it,
Look at this
like,
waterfall. Look at the
when
next
there's the
waterfall.
runt and then there's the alpha pup. Like, whoever was the biggest, even the parents liked them more and gave them more and paid more attention to them. And, like, it's a consistent thing because they're bigger, and, like,
I think that it's got to do a lot with what we are as humans. That this is part of our
we don't have enough good accomplishments.
this is part of our nature.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like I said, it's business can be good and bad, I mean, it's kind of cool, right? Like, we get to. I never thought that I would be able to send a message to anybody. Like, when we were growing up,
See, I can't even remember not being able
like
to do
text
that.
messages. Like, okay, why? In Mexico, the only way you could call my friends, I would have to, like, go around to their house and whistle, and that would be like
Oh,
the
yeah, I
thing.
used to just bang on my best friend's door at 6 in the morning. Hey, let's go play.
Yeah, but now
Yeah.
you can be like text message, like, You're not even saying anything.
That's why talking is now not an accomplishment, because you can just not have to talk and do the same thing.
I mean, I don't know. I guess where is this gonna end up, Greg? Where are we gonna go? Where are we headed?
Mindlessness. Like we're
Um,
gonna have enough information to where we don't have to do anything. It's just gonna be there.
I mean, I already feel like most books that are written aren't being read. Like, I'm pretty sure there's some books in a library somewhere that has never been opened.
Oh
Ever.
yeah. Well, sure, maybe, but
You know? Um, but I mean, what are we gonna do? We're just gonna, I guess, my only like the advice I would tell myself would be this: proceed with caution. See it for what it is. Like it's a thing. Like, what is this thing? What is it making you do? Is it good? Is it worth your time? Look at it in those terms. Because if you're on your phone 40 hours a week, technically like a work week, which people do, they're on their phone or they're at work, they'll have their phone. Like sometimes I'm at work and I'll be listening to a podcast or I'll be listening to an audiobook or something weird like that. Today, I kind of decided to switch it up. And I put some jazz music. Just, I don't know, just listen to some jazz, like something calming, something where I can get my work going, my workflow. Um, yeah, so I don't know. I'm trying to disconnect a little more.
yeah.
So
It's just weird things you think of with these things, but we just can go back to it. I guarantee you, when we stop the podcast, we're both gonna check our phone because like there's things that
it's a
you almost
habit.
can't take away because everyone's doing it.
It's a habit. Yeah.
It's the ultimate peer pressure, almost, dude.
Yeah.
So you got to do these things because everyone's doing it. If you don't do it, then either people are gonna be worried because they can't get a hold of you, or things
You
like
know
that.
what? A call is not like that. Like a call, you're gonna be on a phone call for max 30 minutes.
Like, would you video call? Like, it's weird. Like, none of us
Why
video
would I
call.
video call?
It's
Like,
just like talking to someone face to face.
why not just see you in person?
Exactly.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't video call. Like, if I want to talk to you, I'll give you a call. And I don't even text that much anymore. I give people calls more. I don't know about you.
I wanted to start video calling people, but no one does it. Or like you can't connect to certain people's phones because the two companies won't allow it. Or like there are apps out there that do exactly that, but people won't go to it because either one company created it or another company created it, and so it's like
Yeah.
you just gotta do it, whatever it is.
Yeah. I'm just going to be cautious.
Or you have to be
moving
completely
forward.
different than everyone else and be able to live by the rules you make up. In the
I think
sense
you
of
can.
like, because if you don't have a phone, then everyone who you communicate with has to have the understanding that it's fine to come knock on your door at any moment.
Or how
It's
about
fine to
just,
show up at any time.
I'm not
It's
saying like
like
disconnect from it fully. I'm saying limit yourself to where it's not hindering you.
mhm.
Like for me, I was like, I don't know, it was starting to like, I felt like it was starting to take over. Second nature. It was starting to become second nature. It's something that's not, it's not natural, first of all. And I was like, I feel like it's like a parasite just sucking away at you, like taking your energy out, sucking your attention
Taking your
span.
energy level from 9,000 to 0.
Yeah, it's just like a leech. It's draining you. Like
Uh-huh.
that's how I felt. I was like, man, like what is this thing doing to me? Like I gotta cool it off a little bit, you know?
Mhm.
So that's basically what I kind of went through this week.
All right. All right.
I know it was a lot to unpack, but I'm glad we did.
Yeah, it was another good one.
But yeah, I mean, I'd stay off your phones now, but come and check us out more often.
Well, no, it's the same thing with
Just be
like
more
I've heard
cautious,
this
you
thing
know.
about books. Like, there's no reason to sit there and read the entire book if you can skip different parts of the book because there's enough words in there that are so pointless.
There's a lot of fillers.
Yeah, there's a ton of fillers. If you want to just get the information, move to the next book. Like, if there's a point where you're just reading and nothing, either things aren't making sense or just don't matter to you, move on to the next book. Like, stop wasting your time reading these things. Like, sure, you may spend another 2 days reading this book to get one lesson out of something that could have been big, not that big, or you could have been in a new book reading things that help, and then throw that book and then go to the next one.
Well,
then maybe the accomplishment factor.
I'm like the believer of. Sometimes I have to read a book twice, or maybe multiple times, in order for me to actually understand what the author's trying to get across. Because sometimes you're reading it, but you're reading it in your own perspective.
Sure, maybe
you're relating it to your own life, and then sometimes you have to go back in there and be like, well, what was this person going through at this time? What were they thinking? What were their experiences? And maybe you get a different lesson from that.
Yeah, or I mean, the majority of lessons are going to be out there. Most books are written differently, but kind of have similar information.
Yeah.
So if you keep reading, you're gonna when things matter to you, you're gonna understand it. You're gonna get it. You're gonna put it into your brain. Like, just because you like read a book twice, like, you're gonna forget the majority of what's there.
But you may pick up something different that you missed the first time.
Yeah. But is that worth more than if you can continue to go through
How do you know,
multiple books that are actually giving you consistent information?
But how do you know that the next book is a good book and not just bullshit?
Well, that's the point. You start reading it, and when it becomes not useful or never started to be useful, then why are you going to be there in the first place?
Would you go back to the book you were reading?
I'd probably go to a new one.
So that's what
I'm saying. I haven't practiced it, so I've just heard.
That's what I'm saying. Like, let's say you get stuck in the halfway through the book, and then there's some lessons at the end of the book that you're not gonna get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I think it's better to read the book, make up your mind about the book, process the information. Be like, oh, okay, well, this helped, this didn't help. On to the next.
That's one of the things that I hate about my reading comprehension is so bad. Like, I'll have to read like the same paragraph twice to even pick up the first sentence, and it's like it takes me forever to read a book. And then there's people who read like, there's enough like good books out there that are like 120 pages, and like someone will read that in like an hour. It's like, how?
Practice.
It doesn't make any sense.
Practice. That's what it is.
It's crazy though.
You train your brain to process information faster.
Yeah.
And I guess this is what this is what I think. This is what podcasts are doing. They're getting information across faster.
Mm-hmm.
And some of this conversation will not be useful, but maybe some of this will be useful to somebody else.
Yeah.
And it's a form that's faster. Like, you don't have to sit there and flip through pages. It's kind of like you can do workout, you can do something, you can cook, do whatever you need to do. You can still listen to this conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean, where are we headed? I don't know. Right now we have some
to the top
pyramids.
Of the pyramid.
We got some pyramids in back of us.
Where
were these people headed? You know?
Maybe it was built a stairway to heaven, and they were trying to get there. And then they were like, oh wait, we were building it on both sides, and then there was a top, and then they just did it multiple times, and they're like, wait, we're stupid. There was no actual reason, like, why they were built.
Weren't they used burial grounds?
That's something that's said, but I think they took that away too. I think they said, yeah, there were people there, but like, that wasn't the main reason.
Architecture? Just architecture?
There's been a lot of theories about why.
I don't think some people ever know.
Some people like came up with a theory that it was to create electricity.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
And that they had light bulbs. So maybe if that is a thing, they had light bulbs inside, and there was something, they were doing something inside. Maybe they didn't
I
want
don't know.
people. Maybe they didn't want people to know what they were doing,
I
and they
I
hid it inside.
I
Whatever they
heard.
did, they were doing inside of there.
Yeah, I saw on a documentary once that that the pyramids were basically pointing a certain way. Like they made it made sense with a certain constellation from the time back then that they were going to be doing that.
Yeah,
That's got probably something that has to do, maybe something to do with gods, but
yeah. There's a lot of crazy stuff.
um,
We're gonna end it there then.
yeah,
We'll be back next week,
yep,
and maybe we'll have a little jingle going too.
yeah. So we
What?
today we saw a guy on the side of the road playing some drums, and we kind of like the beat. I bought the intro song for about $6. So
And supported local instrumentalist.
yep,
Actually, it's not instrumentalist, is it?
musician.
Musician. Yep. All
But
right, guys. We'll see you next week. Have a good one.